Welcome back to our trek through the land of Israel. Last time we were at Agan in the Judean foothills, learning to see the Garden of Eden through ancient Near Eastern eyes. Let's continue our exploration this time in the land of honey by heading northwest 30 miles or so to Mount Carmel. Mount Carmel is actually a 24-mile-long coastal mountain range. This range has a singular pass running through it, which was guarded by Megiddo. Because of its strategic location, Megiddo is the site of numerous battles in the Old Testament. In fact, the hill of Megiddo, in Hebrew Har Megiddo, is where the name of that final biblical battle, Armageddon, comes from. As we make our way up Mount Carmel, looking off towards the east gives us a view of the fertile valley below. The annual rainfall here averages 28 inches, so there's plenty of water for agriculture. And we're only about 90 miles from where we were hiking in the Negev down in the south. So now you can see how impactful that rainfall pattern that we talked about in an earlier session is to these regions. As we hike along, we're going to recall what's probably the most famous story in the Bible associated with Mount Carmel. It involves the prophet Elijah, who holds a public contest versus the prophets of another god, Baal or Baal. First, we have to cover some history, though, so that we set the stage for the dramatic events that we're going to read about. And so we're going to do that in this video, and then we're actually going to witness the contest in the next one. So first, the backstory for all of this is that after King Solomon died in about 930 or so BCE, the United Kingdom of Israel splits into two separate nations. There's Judah in the south, that purple area on this map where the kings of David's line continue to rule from Jerusalem. And then there's Israel in the north, which is the green region on this map, where kings come from various lineages and establish their own national capital at Samaria. By the 9th century BCE, the northern nation of Israel is flourishing economically. One of the reasons for this is that their king, King Omri, is adept at building alliances with surrounding nations. He seeks an alliance with the seaside nation of Sidon, desiring to share in their merchant trade and their resources and their cultural offerings. Sidon's king is Ishbaal. Notice the Baal part of the king of Sidon's name. Baal is a god highly revered by the Sidonians. The fact that the king's name incorporates Baal's indicates an allegiance to this national god. This, however, it doesn't really concern the king of Israel, and Omri arranges an alliance through marriage for his son Ahab and Ishbaal's daughter, who you might have heard of, Jezebel. So Jezebel joins the royal family, bringing the gods that she knows, the gods of Sidon, with her. When she becomes queen, Baal and his female consort Asherah become state-sponsored gods in this northern nation of Israel. Baal is a storm god, so he's thought to control the weather. Asherah, as you can tell from this idol, has fertility as one of her domains. So things have gone seriously sideways from God's commandment to have no other gods besides him. Note, however, that Jezebel doesn't seem to encounter a lot of resistance to her gods among the elite of society, especially King Ahab. And the majority of the population seems to follow along too. The prophets of the Lord, however, are either killed or they go into hiding, with one notable exception. Elijah vehemently and publicly opposes the king and queen at great threat to his own life. After a few years of this, the conflict comes to a head in 1 Kings 18, which takes us to Mount Carmel, which is where Elijah throws down a challenge to demonstrate who truly is the Lord of these people, Baal or Yahweh, the God of the Bible. But as you can kind of see here, we have no image for the God of the Bible. He's prohibited that long ago in the Ten Commandments because he just can't be contained in an image in any way. So let's look instead at his name. The God of the Bible has many titles, but he also has a singular personal name. His personal name is noted by 4 consonants, Y, H, W, H, or in Hebrew, which is read from right to left, Yod He, Vav He. Out of deference to God, and so as not to misuse his holy name, it became normal practice not even to speak it. So scholars actually don't know how to correctly pronounce it, and many Jews today would never attempt to utter the holy name. For people that do speak it, though, you will most likely hear it pronounced Yahweh. It is the convention of most English Bibles to write this as Lord in all capital letters. So when you see Lord in all caps, just take note that the Hebrew behind what you're seeing here is Yahweh. So you are reading the sacred personal name of God. Words like Lord, not in all caps, which is Adonai in Hebrew, or God, Elohim in the Hebrew, are titles like senator or mom and dad, rather than the singular personal name of the biblical God. Many people have never actually noticed this distinction before, but Psalm 110 points it out really well. Do you see the difference between the two Lords that I've circled here? The second Lord, with no capital letters, best translates as something like master. So this text actually reads, Yahweh says to my master. The capitals make a big difference, so take note of that when you see that in your Bibles. So Baal is the personal name of the god of the Sidonians who is being worshipped by the people of Israel in the time of Elijah. And Yahweh is the personal name of the God of the Bible. Elijah's challenge on Mount Carmel will force the questions, which one of these two gods do you serve? What's actually fascinating is that Elijah's very name makes clear his allegiance, but we miss it when we read it in English. Eli is Hebrew for my God, and Jah or Yah in Hebrew is a shortened form for the personal name of God, Yahweh. If Elijah had a name tag, it would read, hello, my name is Yahweh is my God. So do you see what's hidden right there in front of us? Folks, this is why you really want to learn Hebrew. Now with that background behind us, next time we'll pick up our story in 1 Kings 18, where Elijah is laying out his challenge. We'll see you back here then. So thanks for coming along on this short journey into the Bible text. I hope you've noticed something new in the landscape, or maybe even a fresh way to view territory that you've covered many times before. Whatever the case, it's good to have you along for the trip. You never know what we might discover as we crack open this fascinating text together.